Talking about VLOOKUP, and VLOOKUP is a very powerful and simple formula that you use to extract data from one list to another. So I have a very simple example here. On the left here, you can see a table stating name, state, and sales figures. And here, I'm trying to populate this particular table with the information here. So let's say, for example, I put the name Chooks here. So I want to be able to get Chooks sales figures here, and the states Chooks is covering here. Now, this might look easy looking at this table, but imagine you have 1,000 lines, 10,000 lines of data, and you don't just have 3 columns, you have 25 columns. That's when VLOOKUP really shows its power. So I'll just go ahead and put in the formula. So I say equals to start a formula in Excel. I type VLOOKUP, and then the first thing Excel is asking me is the lookup value. Now Excel is going, this formula, the VLOOKUP formula, will ask you for 4 items, and you can see it as a messenger that is about to go on an errand, and it's asking you for 4 things just to be clear about what you need. So the first is the lookup value. VLOOKUP is asking me, what exactly do you want me to go and look for? And in this case, I wanted to look for the name Chooks. So I'm selecting the cell that Chooks belongs to here, and that's G13, as you can see there. Now the next is the table array. That simply translates into, where do you want me to go and look for what you're looking for? And here I want Excel to come into this table on the left. So I need to select this entire table. So I drag over it. So as you can see, this table is B12 to D20. So this is B, column C, column D. Right here is row 12, and the last row here is row 20. Of course, if your columns are way more than that or rows are more than that, you just select the entire table and you're good. Now, once I have that, I press comma. Now, the next is Excel is asking me what is the column index number. Now, here's how VLOOKUP works. You always ensure that the value you have, in which in this case is the name, is in the first column of the table you asked Excel to go look into. So I have to ensure that the name here is in the first column of the table I've asked Excel to go into, and it takes that column as 1. So in this case, the name column here is 1, the state column is 2, the sales column is 3, and so on and so forth. So because I'm looking for the sales figure here, in here the sales figure is the 3rd column, so I put in 3 here. Now the final thing Excel is asking me, which is range lookup, is it's basically asking, when I'm searching this item, should I give you an approximate match, or do you want an exact match, meaning you want it exactly as it is? If it's not exactly as it is, don't give me a result. So normally you'll just choose false here. False tells Excel to give you an exact match. Now once you put in this entire formula, I press enter, you can see there it has given me the sales figure for Chooks, and that is 4.8 million, as you can see here. And I can do the same to get the state that Chooks is covering. I simply type VLOOKUP, I open it. I'm still searching with this item. I wanted to go and check for Chooks. The next is the table array. I wanted to check in this table. And now the state here is the 2nd column. Now remember, the name that I have, the item, the lookup value that I have is in column 1, and the state here, which is what I need, is in the 2nd column, name being first, state being second. So I put 2 there, and I also put false, meaning I want an exact value. Once I press enter, you see it has told me Benue is the state that Chooks is covering. And of course, if I change the value in here, you're going to see that it's going to automatically update. So let's change this to Idris, for example, and you can see the sales value has changed to 1.25 million for what Idris has, and the state Idris is covering. Now, this is one of the most powerful formulas you can use in Excel, because it just helps you to sift through a mountain of data and get exactly what you need.